Okay, welcome back everybody. It is another Tuesday night chit chat, and we are from beautiful downtown Las Vegas. So as you can see behind me, I've got the city kind of behind me. Um, it's been kind of a comedy of errors, and it's asking me to double click on something. I don't have any idea why. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so if everything looks good, give me a thumbs up so I kind of know that we're cooking with gas here. We should be live. I think we are. And it looks like we are. Maybe. Okay, it says we're live, so I think we are. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Randy made it in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Randy. How are you? I'll tell you in just a minute some of the exciting things about live streaming. And Scott made it in. Hello, and thank you so very much. Hello. Oh, you're so welcome, Scott. I'm glad you got it, and I hope it's the right size that you were looking for. And Roy says, "Good day, Sly." Good day, Roy. How are you? Okay, so I flew in yesterday. I don't know why it's got writing in front of my face. I don't think it does on the broadcast, but for some reason it says double click to pick a camera source. Yeah, okay. So I did. And it's still there. So I don't know why it's doing that. And how do I, ooh, that's not what I wanted. How do I get rid of that now? Okay, there we go. Okay, so flew in yesterday. That was pretty uneventful. Today, except, okay, so I'm in Las Vegas to visit a friend of mine who I think she was on my live stream a year ago. It may have been 2 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, flew in to see her, got here, and she was not doing so good. So I was kind of going into panic mode a little bit. But today she woke up, she's much, much better. So I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the live stream. And she does not have internet at her house. So, and she does not live in Las Vegas. She lives in a suburb. And the traffic here has just gotten ridiculous. So I didn't want to drive. So I Ubered down here, right? And when I'm packing my backpack, because I bring in a big checked bag for the couple of weeks I'm going to be here, and then for just one overnight, I just bring a backpack. And so I'm putting everything in my backpack that I think I'm going to need for tonight. Well, and I get my Uber, and I Uber down here, and everything's great, and I go to check in. I don't have a real ID. So I travel with my driver's license and a passport. Well, I didn't need the passport at the hotel, so it's sitting on the bedside table with my driver's license. So they weren't going to let me check in, but because I had been here before, they went ahead and let me do it. So huge, huge shout out to El Cortez. I love this place. The people are so nice. And I think they could tell. Flabbergasted little old lady trying to check into a hotel. Hello. And they were very gracious about it. And so I get here, I get set up. Well, I know the volume is a little bit low because the receiver is still back at my friend's house. So all I had with me was the transmitter that goes on my action camera. Normally when I plug into the computer, I need the receiver to get the volume up a little bit louder. So I know we're a little bit on the quiet side tonight, but that's okay. So anyway, I'm trying to get everything set up. I forgot the 90-degree plug-in for the camera. So I'm on the laptop camera tonight. which it does an okay job. It is not as nice as the OBS bot camera, but it does okay. And so that's what we're going to use tonight. And because I wanted to see everybody, and I kind of wanted you to kind of see Las Vegas behind me. I just thought that was kind of cool looking. And okay, so Roy says, I only see me on the broadcast. You only see you. Okay. Do you see Scott and Randy? Because they're here. And he says, volume is fine. Good, good. You may have to turn up everything a little bit, but that's okay. On Ecamm, it has a sound bar thing, and it shows that I'm not quite loud enough. So that's why with the laptop I use the receiver, and that's the only time I use it, because with the action cameras it's fine, and if it's not, I can always bump it up a little bit in post. But yeah, it's sitting in my friend's house, yeah, with my driver's license. Yeah, so there's that. Randy says everything is okay. And Roy says it's probably better than my $20 webcam. I think that this laptop has a respectable picture. You know, it's obviously not like a full frame camera would be, but I think it's respectable. And you can kind of see the lights behind me. So that was kind of cool. I love Las Vegas at night. During the day, everything is very beige, right? Kind of sand color. But at night, when they turn on all the lights, and it's a very busy town, and so it's one, not for people who have ADHD, because it's one of those where everywhere you look is something exciting. So this, where I'm staying, is probably the oldest hotel casino in Las Vegas. It's the El Cortez, and it's just, they've got cabanas that remind me of like the mobster days, or Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin era. And then they've got a new tower, which is where I stay. It's the tower. And it's just, everything is, Las Vegas does everything really nice. Like, everything looks expensive and probably is expensive, but everything is just done really, really nice. And I have to give a shout out to Uber. All of my Uber drivers have been absolutely fantastic. I know it's a little bit more expensive to go Uber, but I didn't have to hassle with trying to find a place to park and paying for parking and the headache of driving through traffic and that whole thing. So huge shout out to Uber. My drivers have been great. Royce says, I'm distracted by that busy road in the background, right? Yeah, I love that highway right here. I don't know what highway it is, but there's a highway right there. There's also, if I move over to one side, that little thing right there is the Hard Rock guitar, which you can't hardly see it. I can't see it in the camera anyway, but it's there, right there. Hard Rock guitar. The biggest and best one I have seen is in Miami, and the whole casino and hotel is just a ginormous guitar that you can see from 30 miles away. It's amazing. The neck of the guitar is the hotel rooms, and then the body of the guitar is the casino and restaurants and stuff. So that's the coolest hard rock I've seen. Randy says, what is the temperature? So when I called my friend on Friday to find out what the weather was like, she said it's really cold here. Okay. She lives in a desert. Cold to her and cold to me are two different colds. So I packed for it's really cold here. And today it was 70. So I didn't bring that many t-shirts. I brought a lot of these hoodie type things. And it is in a desert, so it does get cold at night and first thing in the morning, but then all week it's going to heat up to like close to 70. So when I checked in the room, so it was 70 today, Randy. When I checked in the room, it was really cold. It was like 64. And I'm not paying any attention. I don't come in and immediately check to see what the thermostat said on. But I was getting chilly in just my t-shirt. And so I went and I checked, and it was 64, and I'm like, okay, let's crank that up a little bit. It was on 64 cool. So it never kicked on. The heater never kicked on. No matter how high I raised it, the heater was not going to kick on. And so when it didn't start warming up, I went and checked it again with my glasses, and it showed it was on cool, so I put it on heat, turned it from 64 to 70, and so if you hear the heater is farther in the room, but the return vent, which is making all the noise, is right above my head. So you may hear that. So Randy says 54 degrees. It may be down to 54 right now. It was 70 when I checked in. Let me find my weather app. And it is 54 right now. Yes. But just a few hours ago, it was 68 or 70. So in the desert at night, the temperatures drop really fast. But they heat up pretty fast during the day. Randy said, yep, that Hard Rock Cafe has casino, restaurants, and mall, which is placed on an Indian reservation. So we have one in Tulsa, a Hard Rock, and it has the guitar, but it's just like a normal size guitar, and I've stayed there a couple of times because I get comp rooms, but it's really, I would not go out of my way to go there. El Cortez, I would probably go out of my way. This is this is a Las Vegas landmark, right? It's just, you have the vibes of Bugsy and the Las Vegas mob type people. I mean, it's just got that whole vibe to it, and a lot of big gamblers here, and some not so big. And I haven't gotten to partake yet, but I'm sure I will before the night's out. They've got a really expensive restaurant, and then they've got a couple of like a noodle bar and a hot dog place. So, and both are supposed to be really, really good. So I probably will go down and grab a bite to eat later tonight. Oh, and because they're a casino, they're open really late. Yeah. So Roy says, is there a retro rock cafe? No, not a retro. I don't know. I don't know where Hard Rock gets its name from, but I've never heard of a retro rock. So I don't know. Maybe is that a thing in Aussie? A retro rock. So I'll be here for a couple of weeks. Something came in, and so I tried to order everything to where it would get there before I left, and because of the horrible snowstorms up north, Scott, are you being affected by these snowstorms? I ordered something from Ohio, and it was delayed 2 days because of the weather. So it totally missed Oklahoma. And I don't think Las Vegas has ever seen snow. So, I mean, it was beautiful weather today. And so I kind of got out a little bit. And, I'm still kind of concerned. My friend is, she's not doing great. She's in really good spirits, but she's not doing the best. And so I was kind of concerned about her, so I didn't want to really get too far away. And her neighbors are staying with her right now, so she's in good hands. One in San Antonio is a small guitar with neon lights over the entrance for the Hard Rock Cafe. Across are horse and carriages with Christmas lights. So I think I did not see a Hard Rock when I was in San Antonio. I went to the Alamo and the Riverwalk, and that has been many, many, many years ago. 3 actors started Hard Rock. Okay. Well, I know El Cortez has been around longer than Hard Rock because they were opened in 1941. So a little bit of trivia there for you. Scott says, yes, the bag is perfect. I'm so grateful. Well, you're so welcome. You know, that it was just collecting dust, right? I made a video on it, and then it just kind of went in the dust, you know, in the box and collected dust because I really, since I've gone to action cameras, I don't really even use a camera bag. So I'm glad someone is getting some use out of it. Roy says, nice view. How many stories are you up? I'm on the 8th floor. So I'm not real high. I don't know how high the tower goes, but I think it goes to 15. And so I'm probably like right in the middle of it. I'm not actually high enough up to get, normally I get vertigo real bad, and I don't have any problem looking out the window. So I'm not high enough up for my height sickness thing to kick in. Scott says, Michigan winter hasn't been too bad so far. Good, because I think Ohio must have gotten hit. And so my neighbor is having to just put things in my truck, and they'll be all right till I get back. Randy says, I don't know why it's cutting off the comments. So I'm having to look over here. I don't ask. It's not broken. We're not going to try to fix it. Hard Rock was started by 2 American entrepreneurs, Peter Morton and Isaac Tegritt, who opened the first location in London in '71, aiming to create an American-style diner with classic burgers. So the Hard Rock in Tulsa, it's a casino. They do not have a Hard Rock restaurant. They have a Toby Keith restaurant, and they have a Route 66 restaurant, but they don't have a Hard Rock Cafe in the Hard Rock Casino. I don't know if this one does or not, but the one in Miami does, because I think I have a t-shirt that says Hard Rock Cafe from that casino. Rock and Roll Vibes eventually becoming a global band with memorabilia, hotels, and now owned by the Seminole tribe. So does the Seminole own all of Hard Rocks? Because we have a lot of different Indian tribes in Oklahoma, and the Cherokees own some of them, and the Creek own some of them, and the Seminole own some of them, and it seems like you can go just 10 miles and there'll be a Creek casino and a Cherokee, you can't see my hands, a Creek casino and a Cherokee casino. Oh, okay. The Seminole is the one about in Miami. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting my little bars to scroll down and whatever, but it's okay, whatever. So I think the one in Tulsa is owned by the Cherokee, or it's on Cherokee land anyway. I'm pretty sure. I get the Cherokee and the Creek confused, but I think the one in Tulsa is on Cherokee land. In Oklahoma, the casinos have to be on Indian land. So, and they can't be so close to a school, and they can't be so close to housing. You know, it's just, there's so many rules. Okay. One in Miami is owned by, the Seminoles. Gotcha. So, has everyone done their shopping? I will do some of mine while I'm here and have it shipped home. I got pulled out again going through TSA. for my shoes, which I had offered to take off, and the guy's like, oh, no, 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 you don't need to do that anymore. Okay. So I go through, and they have you stand on the thing and raise your arms up, and it flagged my shoes. So of course, all my other stuff had gone on through, right? So I go back, take my shoes off, put them in the bin, and then go through, everything's fine. Go to pick my stuff up, because it was there, waiting on me. Get everything picked up, and then my shoes are like 8 bins back. And one of the officers comes over and tells me that I can't loiter. I have to keep moving. And I'm in my socks. And so I looked at him and I said, as soon as I get my shoes, I would love to move on. And he kind of looked at my feet. I don't guess he had anything to say, because he just turned around and walked away. So yeah, once again, TSA targeted the granny terrorist here, apparently. I must look like I was hiding a bomb in my shoe. Yeah. So I sent a picture of my shoes to my son, who said they look like old lady shoes. Thank you, son. Randy says, yes, gift cards. There you go. Now, gift cards, yes, I could. Maybe I can find some really cool Las Vegas gift cards. But typically, I give gift cards as a last resort. I think that's kind of the coward's way out. You know, get in there with the crowds. Fight your way to that special toy that little Johnny wants for Christmas, and be part of the brutality. Yeah. It's what makes Christmas fun, man. Roy says, I bought all the relatives giant chocolate bars. Roy, you know I can't say that. Why do you put these things on here that you know I'm not going to be able to say? Tobler one. I don't know how to say that. Some kind of a giant chocolate bar that I've never heard of. Tobler one. I don't know. Yeah. You're going to have to spell that out phonetically for me to get that one. Randy says, I kept going into the wrong line the last time I took a flight. I forgot to take my wallet out of my pocket, and they screamed at me. Yes. Yes. They're not nice people. Now, I realize that they deal with the masses. Okay, I get that. But most people, and I'm sure there's a few hecklers. Okay, I get it. I do. But I'm sure, and I'm going to believe this to my dying day, that most people are nice people. And if you would just say, oh, hey, you forgot to take your wallet out of your pants. It's not like you were trying to sneak through with something. You know, I offered to take my shoes off. And he said, no, we don't do that anymore. You also don't take your laptop out of your backpack. They just want the backpack and all on the conveyor belt. And I'm like, okay. I had already done it by the time he's like, do you want to put it back in? I said, no, just leave it. Well, I'll get it on the other side. At that point, I did not realize that my shoes were going to be an issue. But guess what? I'm flying back in them. And every single time, because I've made this trip several times, I always have trouble in Tulsa, and I never have trouble in Las Vegas. So, knock on wood, but I'll probably sail right through Las Vegas, although I will offer to take my shoes off. Mookie made it in. How you doing? Hello all. I hope everyone is doing well. We're doing very well. Are you snowed in? Do you have snow? Because you're up in that area that my package came from that was delayed for 2 days. So I bet you have snow. Oh, see, he's heard of it. He's a chocolate connoisseur. Toblerone. Toblerone. So which syllable is the emphasis on? Toblerone, Toblerone, or Toblerone? Okay. That is a famous chocolate brand. Y'all have seen my dinosaur video, right? And the reason the computer is shaking a little bit, there was no place to put it. So I got the ironing board out. And it's on an ironing board. And I'm sitting on a little makeup bench thing. Yeah. So, you know, you have to improvise when you do these things. If you say so, Roy. Roy says, by the way, I bought a couple of those Woobin E7 flashlights. Love the tiny things. The E7 is the khaki one I have, right? I actually have it with me over there in my backpack, but because I think the other one's the G5. I like the E7 better. And I got the extension tube, and the battery came in, and it makes it about yay long, which I think I like it shorter. But for this trip, I put the bigger battery in the just in case. And then I found out once I got here that I had packed that flashlight as well as 3 others. So apparently I'm a scared of the dark. Because I have one hanging on my backpack. I had one on a key lanyard in a little sling bag thing, and then I have the Woobin inside, and then I had picked up just a little flashlight. Oh no, I actually have 5, because in my little EDC thing I have in all my backpack, it has the little bitty AAA flashlight in there. So I have got 5, count them, flashlights. Yes. But yeah, I love those tiny things. Me too. Mookie says, no snow here. We are expecting rain tomorrow and then ice and snow tomorrow night. I love snow, and I don't mind driving on snow. I do not like ice. That's kind of where I'm like, and in Oklahoma, the ice never lasts very long. So if I know it's going to be freezing temperatures and rain or snow, I get enough food to wait it out, and I stay home. I'm like a bear. I hibernate. I don't have to drive in the ice anymore, and I'm not going to. Roy says, I love the dark. I feel safer. Right? If I can't see you, you can't see me. That's my philosophy of the dark. There's nothing to be scared of, because if I can't see you, you can't see me. But apparently I have many flashlights, which I don't really need any of them here, because I kind of have my own wing. When I stay with my friend, it's what do you call it? An ensuite, where you have the bedroom and then the bathroom is on this side of the house, and then hers is on this side of the house. So I don't really need it. But when I got there, I'm sitting on the couch, and from the couch you can see into her bedroom. And her bed is gone. There's nothing there. The headboard is there, but the bed is gone. The frame, everything, right? And so I'm like, where is your bed? Well, apparently she's had so much trouble getting, like, just sitting up, that she couldn't get out of bed. It was taking her over an hour just to get from the bed to the wheelchair. So one of her nephews has ordered a bed, and I'm gonna have to do a really little short video for you guys, because I've never seen a bed like this, and I'm trying to wrap my head around what it's going to be like. But not only, it's like a hospital bed that, you know, it raises and lowers and that kind of stuff, but it also, like, where your torso is, it twists around and will dump you out, like, so you can get in your wheelchair. I've never seen something like this, and I don't know how you put sheets on it. I'm really trying to wrap my head around all this, and it's supposed to be delivered either this week or the first part of next week, so I'll be here when it comes in. But the delivery service includes them coming in and setting it up. So, because I figured that was going to fall on me, but no, it includes them coming up and getting everything, setting it up when they deliver it. So, but I'm going to have to video it because I cannot imagine a bed. I can see the hospital bed thing, but I can't see one like turning 90 degrees to drop you out of it. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. Roy says no snow here either. Yeah, y'all can keep that snow up north. I like to look at it, and when we were coming across the Rocky Mountains, I got to see like the high parts of the Rockies had snow. But so that's fine. I like looking at it, but I just don't want to have to live in it. Randy says my mother slept in a lazy boy because of her back. So my friend has done something in her back. I don't know what. It's a muscle thing. And so she is sleeping in her. It's a electric chair, and she pushes a button and it reclines and the feet come up and the thing goes back, and then she hits another button and it all goes down, and then it lifts and it will dump her out if you lift it up high enough. She'll slide right out of it. But her legs are not working, and so transferring from the wheelchair to anything is ordeal right now. And but she's in really good spirits, and I can help transfer. So, you know, that's why I'm here, right? So, Roy says my wife's electric bed doesn't have an eject button. I'm gonna have to video this because I just can't wrap my head around how it goes from like this to this. How would you put sheets on that? Yeah, I don't know. So I will learn this week or the first part of next week. I've never seen one, Roy, that has an eject button. Randy says my favorite bed used to be a water bed. Thank you. Same here, and my son feels the same way. We are both waterbed people. Now it's a sleep number bed that has air. My water bed had a water leak. So I went from my first water bed had the baffles, so it didn't move at all. And that was great. And then the longer I spent on a water bed, the more movement I wanted. And so my last water bed had, it was in a soft side mattress encasement, so it would fit on like a regular bed, but it didn't have any baffles in it. And so the water just moved and moved, and it was fantastic. When I went on a cruise, you don't notice the boat moving until you lay down. And that bothers a lot of people, but I loved it because it reminded me of my waterbed. So yes, if they ever bring them back, I'm in. My mom had something like that on the Lazy Boy. Yeah, it's a lift chair that it does like heat and massage, and it lifts, and you know it's pretty fancy. But and at 93 she needs it because she is having trouble getting up and down, and there is not like this vanity bench that I'm sitting on, there is not a prayer that she could get up off this by herself. She has to be with where her knees are just slightly bent, and then she can pull herself the rest of the way. But yeah, growing old is not for sissies. Roy says, after spending 24 months sleeping mostly on the ground, now I can sleep anywhere. I can't sleep on the ground. I never have been able to, Roy. I remember being at summer camp as a child and having a problem sleeping on the ground. So that I've just never been good at it. Never been able to get sleep. And I typically I'm a stomach sleeper. That may have something to do with it, but I just have never been able to do it. Why were you for 2 years mostly sleeping on the ground? Is there something in your past we don't know about? Randy says, my brother dove into the waterbed when I was sleeping and it knocked me right off onto the floor. They could be kind of trampolines. Now, you're never, ever, ever supposed to do this. But when I had my kids, I had my waterbed. And you're never, ever, ever supposed to put an infant on a waterbed. Yeah, but Sly did. And both babies were raised on waterbeds, and neither one of them suffocated or, yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but I think it is a suffocation thing because it's a vinyl. But my waterbed was it had a, like they couldn't get to the vinyl, so there really wasn't, it wasn't really an issue. But yes, I do remember you could, the heavier person, i.e. my husband, would almost throw me out of bed if he got in too fast. Because I went, I was in bed first and I'm here and he gets in bed and I go, whoop! Yeah. So you have to learn to do things a little different. My stepfather sat down on his lazy boy and used the handle to raise the legs at the same time and ended on the floor. Oh no. Sat down on the lazy boy and used the handle to raise the legs at the same time and ended on the floor. Oh my goodness. Did he like go over backwards? Because I have done that before. Yeah. But Roy says the only problem with sleeping on the ground is what crawls in with you. Another good example of why not to sleep on the ground. Thank you, Roy. I can think of several reasons not to sleep on the ground. My first baby slept with me on the waterbed. She's still going strong 34 years later. Thank you. Yes, mine too. I mean, and then after when my son started sleeping by himself, he had a twin size waterbed, and then when he got too big for that, he had a what they call it. It wasn't called a super single. Was it called a super single? Maybe. It was longer. It was like the length of a queen and wider than a twin, but I don't think it was as wide as a full. Maybe. I think they called it a super single. And it had like the bookcase, so it kind of looked like a daybed, kind of. It had the bookcase running down one side, and but yeah, he is my waterbed baby. My daughter, I think she really preferred her crib to the waterbed, but Grant and I would both, if they ever bring them back, we're standing in line. Scott says, well, if she's 34, it's time to get her own bed. I think is she married, Scott? I've seen pictures of you with your daughters, but I don't know if they're married or not. My son is 32 and he's not, so they may very well not be. So, oh, and my daughter just got engaged. Now, you guys will understand this, okay? There's not a lot of people I could tell this story to and I would get much sympathy, but you guys will understand this. So I videoed the whole engagement process, okay? And I went home that day and I edited. Now, it wasn't a long video, okay, but I edited, and there was some language that I had to edit out. There was some hooping and hollering, and then for the actual proposal, I forgot to mic her up, and I had the microphone. Luckily, I was close enough that you could hear it, but I had to raise the volume. And you guys know editing is editing, right? So needless to say, I cleaned up this video to make it the best it could be, okay? And I sent her the link. And it's only like 3.5 minutes long. It's not like a real long video or anything like that. So I sent her the link, and she watched it the next day, and she thanked me and all that good stuff. And then about 3 or 4 hours later, she wants the unedited version. So why did I spend hours editing? I only spent like 2, but you understand what I'm saying. Why did I even bother? So I told her, I said, well, I don't have time to get back to that before I leave, so it'll be after I get back. So there's that. Yes, Amelia is married and is a doctor. Well, congratulations. A doctor of a general practitioner, we gotta know more than she's a doctor. I almost forgot to hit like. Oh yeah, that's right. Everybody, thumbs. Do the thumb action thing. There are so many different kinds of doctors. The people I play cards with, his son-in-law is a doctor for old people. Geriatric medicine, I think. I didn't even know that was a thing. Apparently there's a special doctor just for old people. Who knew? And Scott says, yep, general practitioner. That's cool. That's cool. So do you use her for your doctor, or is that too close to home? A friend of mine's son is a doctor, and my kids, because when he graduated and he did his residency and earned internship and everything, I thought, ooh, I can use him for my doctor. And my kids are like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. I'm like, why not? I want to support him. I want to be supportive. And they're like, that would be awkward. Like going in with a medical problem when you've known this child since he was born. And I'm like, yeah, good point. Okay, whatever. Roy's saying to Scott, she's a real doctor, not like me. I just play one on TV. Dr. Roy. I'm going to start calling you that, Roy. She doesn't live in my area. Aw. So, well, that gives you a place to go visit. Does she live somewhere warm? I really kind of like Las Vegas when it's a little bit warmer, but it is still warmer than Oklahoma, so I probably shouldn't complain. I am going to have to go get some more t-shirts because, like I said, I brought hoodies and all this winter stuff, and during the day, don't need any of it. And we probably won't be going out that much at night. She doesn't like really to go out at night too much, and I'm getting where I don't see well at night, so yeah, I'll probably have to pick up a couple of t-shirts. But I just came in yesterday and I was so tired. I went to bed actually really early and slept all night, which that does not happen very often. So yeah, tonight I'll probably stay up a little bit later because I got plenty of sleep last night. But Randy says the Nilkin Cube Pocket keyboard got 275 reviews on YouTube. The reviewers like that better than the Zedio tripod and Ulanzi ballhead. Yeah, it's too far over there. So I have a light. I'm not going to show you the light because I'll blind the camera. But I can turn it off. Maybe. Or set it down. Okay, so this is my light stand. It's a DJI, you can't hardly see it with the light off, DJI selfie stick on a ZDO, the little tripod. The ZDO. So Randy, did you make videos about all the above? And you got 275 clicks on the Nilken one? You probably did a lot better review than I would have done. Because, yeah, I do have it figured out now. And I am bouncing the ironing board. Sorry, guys. Turn that on again. It just kind of helps a little bit. I think. I've got the vanity lights on one side, but if I have any of the lights in the room on, it reflects on the glass so badly that you can't really see what you're doing. And that looks like it's getting a little bit of reflection. Do I look like I have stars in my head? Scott says, oh, she lives north. Well, that's even colder because Scott's way, way up there. Like, are you like right on a Great Lake and then she lives in the lake? Because I don't think there is. She lives in Canada. That would be north. Yeah. But Scott's way up there. Randy says, I love those videos. Yes, 2 separate unboxings. Cool. I will have to research that when I get home. I have no internet where I'm staying, so, and I'm on my phone, which for some reason has been dying really quickly. Like I'm already down to 69% and I haven't used it at all. So maybe time for a new phone. Not sure. You can drag the comments on your screen up. Is that too high? Now you're in my face? I think, yeah, I can read them from over here. They don't look, yeah, they are centered. Okay. Oh, Bad Luma came in. Did I miss a comment? Maybe not. 25 minutes from Lake Michigan Beach. You or your daughter? Oh, probably you. Because I think you're just like right almost on Lake Michigan. I think. Bad Luma came in and says, what do you think of MacBook keyboards? I hate them. Are you talking about the built-in one on the laptop? Yes, I do not like at all. So I bought I tried 3 different foldable keyboards. One, because now I have a really long 17.5-inch non-foldable keyboard that I love. Love, love, love. I refuse to use the keyboard that comes with that's in the laptop. It's just, yeah, I don't like it. But these foldable ones, I tried 3 different brands. I tried the Samsung, the Arc, was it an Arc Pro or something like that? And then the Nilken. And you can see that. Wow. How about if I turn it right side up? So the Nilken was the one I liked the best. It felt like it would last the longest, like it was the most well built. The Samsung was close. It was really, really close. But the Nilken has a built-in trackpad, that can also double as a number pad. So I do not, I don't like the trackpad on the MacBook. I don't like the keyboard. Yeah, so don't get me started. You did. You got me started, and look where I ended up. Put the phone on battery saver. I didn't even know it had such a thing. And you got it. Scott says, oh, he lives by Lake Michigan Beach. But she is even closer to the beach than me. So, yeah, I would think summertime, that would be a good spot to live. And I'm not 100% sure, but in Minnesota, when the lakes freeze over, they can actually drive a semi across those. And I know they do this in Alaska as well. There are people that live on islands, and the only time they can get like building materials and stuff is in the dead of winter when the lakes freeze over. Because otherwise you have to go by ferry, and the only time they can get like really large stuff to the islands is when the lakes freeze. So, which I thought was really kind of cool. Roy says some HP laptops have worse than MacBook keyboards, but they are rare. The thing I don't like about the MacBook is it's like so totally flat. Now I have a stand to raise it up a little bit, but that's just something else to carry. Well, I guess I'm carrying a keyboard. Well, it's 6 one, half dozen the other. I would not be happy if this was all I had, because I am so totally spoiled by my at-home setup that, yeah, if I only could buy like one computer, it would not be this laptop. But it's great for traveling. It's great for doing this. The camera is acceptable, but I don't really care for the keyboard and the trackpad. So once I got the hang of the Nilken trackpad, I love it. It's so easy to use. It is a little on the small side because I've had to, like, it wouldn't let me drag down far enough. And so I've had to do things in, like, I'll get this much and then this much, and but it still beats the one on the laptop. So Roy says 99% of Australians live within 20 minutes of the beach. It's because Australia is a island. So you have beach the entire way around you. You know, US, we got the East Coast and the West Coast. And then you've got Canada and Mexico. So if you don't live on the East Coast or the West Coast, then you're inland. Oklahoma is very inland. Life's a... Oh, it did. It cut that off. There it is. Life's a beach. Scott says, can't drive across Lake Michigan. The middle never freezes solid enough. Okay. So, is Minnesota higher than Michigan? Possibly. Or maybe it's in Canada. I'm not sure. When it's cold, like this time of year, I would never go to Minnesota. Or, yeah. Summertime. 10,000 beaches in Australia to choose from. It's because you're the entire thing. Now, this is a good point, Roy. You'll be able to answer this. So there are islands that have beaches, and there are also islands that have cliffs. Where the cliffs are, no beaches. Okay. So does Australia, does the whole island have beaches, or are there spots that have cliffs? I don't know. but that is an interesting, because I know like in England, in like this, because England is kind of an island, and in the south part it's beaches, but when you get up further north, like the northwest side, I guess, it's cliffs, like stone cliffs. And so the ocean is right there, but there's no beaches. And I think the further north you get, it gets too cold to do the beach thing anyway, and Australia's like in the sun most of the time. So, but y'all do have, like, you're coming into summer, so you just came out of winter. So I wouldn't imagine you'd have a lot of surfers in the winter, but maybe. And Roy says there are islands and coastline with both cliffs and beaches. Okay. Okay, so you have a little bit of both. That's cool. One of these days, Australia is on my bucket list. One of these days. I want to see England and France and Italy and Ireland, and there's a whole lot of places on my bucket list. So one of these days when I win the lottery that I've never bought a ticket for, somehow I'm going to win a lottery, I plan on traveling. Roy says there is Fraser Island. That's the biggest sand island in the world. I have not heard of Fraser Island, but I will look it up tonight. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it. And thank you guys so very much for joining me. And on my, Las Vegas in the background. I just think that's so cool to look at. Kind of makes me want to see if there's a place in Tulsa I could do that. But thank you guys so very much. You guys mean the world to me. And I looked forward to this. That was one of my, I had thought about coming on Friday so I wouldn't miss tonight. And then I thought, well, I'm mobile. I can go on a Monday. And then I had a lot of things go wrong. So yes, I am walking the streets of Las Vegas with no ID. Let's just hope they take pity on the little old lady. But we will be doing this. Randy says, goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Have a good time. Scott says, see you again next week. Yes, next week I'll still be in Las Vegas. Hopefully things will be a little smoother, but I will get one of those adapters that I forgot. I have two at home and I forgot them. And I will have my receiver next week. So, yeah. And Mookie saying, take care everyone, stay safe and warm. Roy, I love you to pieces. He sent me $20 chocolate money. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can find one of those, that brand of chocolate yeah. I already forgot how Mookie said to say it, but I love you guys so much, and thank you, Roy. And I will see everybody next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.